Hi neighbor, your healing specialist, Annie here, and it is Walking Wednesday Wisdom. And I, as you can see, am not outside walking today. Why? Because it's raining. I did go for a short walk earlier with my rain jacket on, but here I am. And I wanted to share with you some wisdom that I experienced this morning, and hopefully this will resonate with you too. So I found myself this morning ruminating on what I call a Kodak moment. These are moments of traumatic or unpleasant event that kind of get branded on your brain. They are images that when you think about something, your brain recalls that particular image. So I was having one of those this morning, and they're not pleasant. They remind us of a what was and something that we left behind or thought we left behind and want to leave behind. So what do we do with that? And as I was having that thought this morning and thinking, why has this appeared in my life this morning? Well, any struggle really is an opportunity for growth and wisdom, adding depth and dimension to the learning that you've experienced. And it doesn't have to be hard, neighbor. Quite often we make it hard. So here's what happened is I'm ruminating over that thing. I'm reminded of a person that I once worked with. The long and short of this woman's story is this. She and her husband had separated. She had gone to spend some time with family and friends while trying to also process where they were at, where she wanted to go, and to work on her own healing in the hopes that they could come back together. When she returned, she discovered that her husband had moved his current mistress into the home the day she left. He moved her out when she came back. All of this sort of unraveled very quickly in a month or two after she returned. She discovered that he was renting a house for his mistress. And once she realized that there had been yet another affair, she chose to file for divorce. As it turned out, he was going to retain their home. And in the appraisal that she received from her attorney, there were pictures, obviously, of each room. And what she noticed in the photo of the bedroom is that he had actually been using her business work massage table. It was spread up at the end of the bed, and there were, unfortunately, visible stains on it. And so that memory, she said, it doesn't happen very often, but when that memory reoccurs, it's painful, and it takes her back to that time, and she's confounded as to what to do with that because it's branded on the brain. And what occurred to me is that, there are some people who will say, rewrite the story, change the story. That personally doesn't resonate with me because our experiences are a part of our overall life experience. However, what occurred to me was to ask her what were some possibilities of that. So initially, when she removed her items from the home, her belongings, she did take that with her, but she couldn't bring herself to use it. And so she donated it to an organization. And so where I helped her go was not to rewrite the story, but to create an ending that felt more in resonance with her, that felt better and brought joy versus conflict and a grief reminder. And what she decided to do is to think about there was some young person who was just starting out in the holistic health industry, a massage therapist or a PT, who was able to purchase this top of the line massage bed for their business that they were just starting at a fraction of the cost they would have had to invested had they purchased it brand new. Thinking about all of the joy that that person felt, the excitement, the gratitude, the relief that that person felt, right? That brought her joy. And then she had this idea to take it one step further. Not only was it an individual who brought all of that energy to the table, it was a man. It was a young man who had hope and healing and other people's wellness and monogamy and trust all built into the work that he did. And so now that memory, what is branded on her brain, now has a new image then of a possible scenario of what a very viable and likely scenario of what could have happened with that bed. And now she has that memory then to carry her forward if and when it pops up. What we're hoping is that it will offset that other memory. There won't be any need to ruminate over that anymore. And the experience then, again, coming back to what we said, the part of her overall experience, it actually added depth and dimension to the learning and the wisdom of her experiences that she's already undertaken. A little more joyful, a little more healing, a little more inspiring. And now that is also a part of her overall experience. I wonder how you relate with this, neighbor, because we've all experienced those branded moments on the brain. Share with me how this relates to you, how it resonates with you, and anything that you have done to help sort of change and shift the story in your mind so that it feels less painful and more peaceful and empowering. Until next time, I see you, I feel you, and I believe in you, neighbor. Take care.